Hello, and welcome to the life of a content creating college student, where we discuss what it's like to be a content creator and a college student at the same time. With that being said, enjoy the podcast.
Coursework, financial aid, followers, copyright strikes, and more. You are listening to the Life of a Content Creating College Student podcast starring Wayne Z0207 and Charlotte Waite.
Good evening. My name is Colton W. Hurst, also known as Wayne Z0207 on the internet, and I welcome you to the very first episode of the Life of a Content Creating College Student podcast. I am joined here by Charlotte Waite, a top advisor at Oregon Tech, the college that I am currently going to. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. I am Charlotte.
And we'll go. What we'll be discussing in this podcast is what it's like to be a content creator and a college student. What it's like to live on both worlds. So we're gonna go ahead and tell a little bit about ourselves. So I have actually been a content creator for 2.5 years. I just started college back in September 28th this year. And what I typically do is gaming and video reaction live streams. And my major is mechanical engineering, and let's just say I'm doing fantastic.
You really are, Colton. I am Colton's top advisor, as he described earlier. I love to support Colton in his work. I love to see his growth, and I'm so excited to see that on this podcast with him.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're going to kick things off. So Charlotte's going to be asking me some questions, and I'll be answering them accordingly.
Yeah, we're just going to have some conversations about your week, and I would love to hear about what was your highlight this week, Colton?
Okay, 2 things that went great at college. For one thing, my professor went over Avogadro's number in chemistry, and I got to help in registering for winter classes.
Oh, nice. What class are you most excited for in the winter?
I'd say chemistry 201 and 204. Not just because it's interesting, but I also get to have my professor again in the winter term.
Nice. I'm so glad you have such a great connection with your professor.
Oh, yes. Him and I are alike in so many ways. It's just astounding how much connecting with a professor can be.
Nice.
It's just so amazing.
Yeah, and it's so important to have those connections with professors. They're really going to serve you.
Yes. And on my most recent chemistry exam, my quiz for that matter, I do believe I got every single question right, and I showed off by showing off a fact that was not listed on the quiz, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Oh, big brain.
Yes. I studied on Quizlet, and that's how I get all these good grades and prepare myself for these quizzes so well.
Nice. Great tool that you're utilizing.
Yes. And to go over what my professor taught me, Avogadro's number is all the molecules that make up 12 grams of carbon. And so it's used to determine the amount of moles of an element, and that can be used to determine the mass.
Oh, okay.
Moles can also be used for molar mass. So let's say you have the atomic mass of, let's say, carbon, and then O2. You would punch those numbers in, noting that there are 2 oxygen atoms. So you would take the atomic mass of that and multiply it by 2, and you get your molar mass for CO2.
Oh, that's a lot. I'm not very good at chemistry, so hearing you explain it with so much passion, that just makes me so happy that you love it. Is there anything else that happened this week that...
Well, I also took time on Tuesday to improve my job resume, or at least I think I did. Well, basically what happened was Desiree Wooten, my career service person, she had something to do up in Portland, I think. She was out of town, as you might have stated earlier.
Yeah, she had a big career fair.
Man, she really likes those career fairs, doesn't she?
And they're so important,
yes,
right?
Because you get to connect with employers and reach out about your passions and your desires and what you like to do, essentially. What you aim to do, what your accomplishments are, and you get to explore new opportunities to learn new skills through internships.
Yeah. What company are you most excited to submit your resume towards?
I am most excited to submit my resume to Boeing. I have heard about Boeing from my dad. He is so passionate about me getting to Mars. He wants to see me succeed. He wants me to have all those tools that I need to succeed. That's what he's here for. And my mom's supporting me every step of the way too. She always loved me dearly. I was always near and dear to her heart.
That's so sweet. I'm so glad you have such great support at home. That really is a blessing that you
Yes,
have.
yes. Such a huge family. Man, it just warms my heart.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. We just talked about your highs of the week. Did you have any lows that you had to work through?
Well, for one thing, my chemistry tutor was sick and couldn't help me necessarily. So what happened was I scheduled tutoring, and this tutor's major was applied math. He does teach chemistry as well. And the unfortunate thing was he did wind up getting sick, and he couldn't help me. He let me know in an email and canceled my appointment.
Yeah. Sometimes we just have to be adaptable because
Yes.
you can't control that.
And plus, it also helps to engage in group study.
Did you have a chance this week instead of being tutored by him to engage in group study?
Well, I did learn on my own, but I think I might have had tutoring earlier, but yeah. The next day I did get some help on math.
Oh, good.
And I also did get plenty of help on chemistry as well.
Oh, great. I'm glad that you're utilizing your resources. That's so
Yes.
important to you.
Just being able to utilize all those resources, utilize those peer tutors. So just having all these resources, even the top program, is just so amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that as an advisor. That makes me happy that we're
And
helping you.
not to mention, again, professors, especially my chemistry professor. I actually know my chemistry professor. His name is Professor Wagstaff. Shout outs to him for being the best chemistry professor that I had so far. Overall, the best professor I've had so far.
Nice. And Claire's really helping you. I'm a top
Yes.
advisor, but Claire's specifically your top advisor.
Yes.
And I know you guys have some really great meetings together. And
Yes.
she
It's
really-
just so amazing to see all that we could come up with. It's just so amazing that we get to look into this, look into what we got. Oh my goodness. So anyways, all of that, it's just so amazing.
Good.
We get to look into things and sort things out. It's just so amazing to see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I'm so glad. And it sounded like even though your low was maybe a little challenging for you, you weren't able to study, it kind of broke up your routine.
Yes.
You're still able to have a successful week. You definitely had more highs and lows, and that's
Right.
really encouraging.
Yes, it always goes a long ways to have such a strong support system inside and outside the college. It's just so amazing to see what we all can come up with as a team, as a community.
Yeah. Right. I have another question for you.
Yes.
Colton. I'm really interested. You are a college student and a content creator.
Yes.
What did you do as a college student specifically this week?
I finished winter class registration, specifically for my 5 classes. I'll be taking MFG 103, Speech 111, Chemistry 201 and 204, and Math 111.
Ooh, that's a nice load.
Yes, and I'm pushing towards Math 111 especially. I'm still working towards getting past Math 100 level, getting credit for that, and then proceeding to take Math 111 next term. And so I'm really looking towards getting that goal accomplished,
Yeah.
getting everything situated, and being set to take Math 111 and then take Trig. I don't want any delays in my graduation schedule.
Oh, yeah. And that's okay.
Yes.
We just have to be adaptable sometimes with our classes, and that's fine.
Yes.
You have a really great advisor again, Claire, that's really awesome at helping you move around your schedule so you will graduate on time.
Yes.
Even if, crazy things happen, like
Yes.
you're not able to complete a class.
Yes, it's just so amazing what we all can do and how we work around things. As I always stated, there will be disappointments in life, but us humans have the power to turn those disappointments into accomplishments.
Yeah, you need to have, we talked this week in our ACAD class that we taught and you were in, about a growth mindset.
Yes.
So that mindset of not yet.
Right.
But always pushing forward. I always like to say that it's a catalyst for growth.
Yes.
It's sparking
Yes.
something.
Yes. And we discussed growth mindset and fixed mindset, and I did a pretty good summary of it.
Yeah, you did. You did a great job on your homework this week.
Thank you so much. I always make sure everything is done and done the right way.
Nice.
And so I apply myself.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I have all my resources. I make sure I understand the material completely and ace all my courses. I'm looking to graduate top of my engineering class. I've maintained a 4.0 throughout junior and senior year of high school, and my cumulative GPA wound up being a 3.84.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So it was just amazing.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. And that's also part of why I got into Oregon Tech in the first place, is because of my drive and my hard work.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yes.
I can see you're driving your hard work.
Yes.
Really come through.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also going to be going more into how I got entered in orientation later on, when I discuss what events or student club meeting I attended.
Oh, how about you just tell us about that right now?
Okay, since we have plenty of time.
Mhm.
Yes. I saw a tour given to younger kids and teens. I never got the chance to ask what school they went to, but they seemed pretty promising.
Nice. Did you take a tour here as a high school student?
Yes, I did.
What did you think? Your first time here at a tour, what did you think about Oregon Tech?
It was just so amazing. The campus, the futuristic technology.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was just ecstatic.
Yeah. And has that perspective and excitement shifted at all now that you're here?
I've only grown to love this college even more.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just so amazing. And first, I was a bit undecisive, but I decided Oregon Tech first because it's close to home.
Yeah.
And plus, I still get the support of my parents and everything. Plus, I still get to be in Klamath and interact with all my fan base that I've made here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad.
And it's just so amazing that I get to stay locally.
Mm-hmm.
So I still get to see my friends, my family. I still get to see all my loved ones.
Good.
Or at least most of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are out of town. So I'm sure I get to spend time with them and connect with them. It's just so amazing.
Yeah. It inspires you to travel
Yes.
more,
Mhm.
to see your
Yes.
family members.
And as I entered college, as I went through orientation, I realized that there were so many friends that I had made, and there were so many opportunities to push myself, to attain those goals and dreams. And so, some advice that I would give to my high school seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen at Mazama High, I graduated there, is don't be afraid to push yourself. Peer pressure can be hard, but you can attain those goals. You can make yourself stand out. I was even the president of the choir class my senior year of high school. So, it was just amazing getting to know my choir teacher, knowing that we had so many similar backgrounds. It's just so amazing to see how much we've changed, how much we've grown. It's just so amazing that we conquer ordeals.
That's a great piece of advice. It's really great. I want to circle back a little bit. You said that your fans were in town, and that leads to my next question for you.
Yes.
What did you do as a content creator this week?
I began to design the layout of this podcast, of course, I've worked with you, designating the layout, and I'm glad you're collaborating with us.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we have some really great
Yes.
things. And you have amazing ideas. You came so prepared with music to put behind, microphone, really great recording studio.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for you. I'm glad I can support you and answer
Yes.
questions that you have.
And then circling back to what I did as a college student, I haven't finished talking about that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We also learned about the molehill. That's another thing that I learned. It's how we convert grams to atoms and atoms to grams, and also how we convert moles of an atom or polyatomic ion to another.
Nice.
So how you convert moles is you take the amount of moles that you have from the amount of atoms or grams, and you compare them to a 3 to 1 to a ratio of the moles that you have of the substance you're transferring to the moles of the substance you currently have.
Nice.
And then, depending on whether or not you want to plug in for the molar mass, or basically the total mass that the substance has, or the amount of molecules that are in that substance, you would use either Avogadro's number or the atomic mass of that element or polyatomic ion.
Wow. It sounds like you have a really great understanding
Yes.
of your chemistry class right now.
Yes, it's just so amazing what all these subatomic particles can do. The possibilities are just endless. Space and time.
I'm so glad that you're so passionate and interested in it, because it just makes learning so much easier and more fun once
Yes.
you really love what you're reading and listening.
It's just absolutely amazing to see all the hard work that I've done, everything that I have accomplished so far. It just all comes together. Like, really. It's just so amazing. It's just, man, all this is, I'm just passionate about all of this. I strive to achieve my goals.
Yeah.
No matter the circumstances. I have all sorts of responsibility under my belt. And so I take it upon myself to make sure all those goals have been achieved.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Especially your responsibility as a content creator with
Yes.
fans that rely on you.
Yes. Because I'm aware of the outcomes that can happen if I don't succeed. And so I hate to disappoint my fans. And so no matter what happens, I always push through. And I always make it through in the very end.
Nice.
My Myers-Briggs type is an ENFJ. In other words, we can be described as the protagonist.
Oh, okay.
And so, it's a common theme that the protagonists always find a way to overcome their problems and overcome their evil foes. It all just comes together. I see myself in that sort of light.
Who do you see as your foes?
Well, it's kind of complicated. I don't want to delve deep into this. But,
Okay.
Let's just say on one of my previous streams, I had an evil alter ego that attacked me. But the past is in the past.
Yeah.
And it's
That's a
time
quote
that we...
from Lion King.
Yes.
The past is in the past.
Yes, it's time that we push forward.
Are you doing anything else as a content creator this week?
Well, I'm also preparing to stream on Twitch. So, essentially, I want to introduce myself to a new audience and expect some of my Facebook audience to tune in as well.
Yeah.
Of course, I missed my Facebook audience. I especially missed all of you fans out there.
Let me show you something.
And I just want to give a shout outs to all sorts of people, the tutors, everyone that makes such a great community. And I was thinking that for my first time streaming on Twitch, I'll introduce myself. So what I typically do on my streams for introductions is our internet username, occupation, and our hobbies outside of streaming. And so that's the typical intro for a typical WayneZ0207 live stream.
Oh, nice.
And so I introduced myself as WayneZ0207 and whatever occupation I had. And what I like to do is spend time with my family, go four-wheel riding, hunting, fishing, and I like to do plenty of gaming, of course.
Of course.
I've had plenty of training just to stream. And of course, with every single new day comes a new opportunity, a new day to improve, a new day to get better.
Most definitely.
And I was thinking that aside from providing my general intro, how we introduce ourselves in general, we're also going to run down the live stream rules.
Oh, in this podcast?
No.
Okay.
But on my live stream. I can go over the
nice.
rules now. I actually
Oh.
have it saved in my Google Drive. Let me pull those up real quick.
Okay.
And of course, my fans know this as well. So, of course, the number one rule is no trolling one of the live streamers. That is a pretty common theme. One of the most annoying trolls, the troll memes that I've encountered on the internet, is Rickroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That...
I'm gonna give you
Oh, no. Definitely stray away from that. I mean,
It's classic. It's classic prank.
It's 2022, not to mention.
I don't think it ever gets old.
I doubt it's ever going to go away. I highly doubt it that much. And not to mention gnoming. That's also pretty popular. I know of a YouTuber that did a meme stream, and he constantly got gnomed throughout these.
What?
Yes.
Oh no. Yeah.
And so he had to put up with that for God knows how long. It's just...
You gotta roll with the punches. When
Yes.
You're a streamer.
And we also went into chat levels, and so I base my chat levels around the youngest person in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's nice.
I asked that the fans keep it, PG-13 typically.
Yeah.
Minimal cussing and minimal references to violence or parental guidance suggested. Content still kid friendly, only if it is for the parents. No verbal abuse to one another. Spamming in the chat. Spamming in the chat. That gets annoying.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
No one finds that entertaining.
yes. Of course I can expect people to interact in the chat regularly, but, I mean, like, give a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Like, take some time to enjoy the stream.
Yeah. Or have some actual conversations.
Yes, I was about to say, do not monopolize the chat. Start conversations with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Typing in normal English.
Yeah.
No spoilers to a specific game, no overused jokes in the chat. Just basically keeping it clean in the chat.
Yeah.
Especially not discussing politics.
Ah, amen. That
A-
divides people.
Amen to
You
that.
want people to come together.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course I don't get political myself.
Mm-hmm.
But all I am going to say is when I do get political, it's to defend our Constitution and our small businesses and content creators especially.
Yeah, what you're passionate
Yes.
about.
Yes. So it's just so important that we keep our country united.
Mm-hmm.
Defend our country. Defend our homeland. And also I'm going to point out that we shouldn't attack other websites or use the chat for any personal business.
Mm-hmm.
And to be respectful to all our guests. And not to put any scams in the chat.
Yeah.
Not to mention not calling me a simp.
Oh, what? Has that happened before?
No, it hasn't happened before,
Oh,
but I am aware of that slur.
Yeah.
Of course I am a gentleman and such, but
Mm-hmm.
calling me a simp, that's just going too far.
No, that's whack.
Absolutely. And of course, no otherworldly threats, so that means any villainous character appearing in my live streams.
Ooh.
My evil alter ego was based off a villainous character in one of the video games.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm not going to delve too far into it.
Okay.
It's just an uncomfortable topic that I'm not comfortable
Yeah, that's okay.
with. Anyways, getting back to college students. In my Engineering 111 class, we also resumed the prototype of Da Vinci's hang glider recreation. So what we did was we had a huge team on our hands. 7 people. There was an odd person out, and the max we were allowed was 6, so we were lucky to have 7.
Nice.
So what we did was we had our materials, such as zip ties, and what's that one material? Balsa wood. And I think one of our teammates also brought over cardboard. One of our teammates also has a 3D printer. And so our rough draft of the design was made out of cardboard and somewhat out of balsa wood and string.
Okay.
And paper too,
Yeah.
not to mention. So what made the hang glider so famous was its simplicity in design
Yeah.
and how it was so functional. It was the earliest design of the flying machine.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually done my research on this.
Nice.
I can pull that up real quick. Final project.
Oh, it was for your final project.
Yes, in the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much research have you put towards this?
So, I cited a source online.
Oh, nice.
So, let me scroll down to this presentation here.
Yeah.
Aha, there we go. History and methodology of the Da Vinci hang glider. The Da Vinci hang glider was well known for its simplistic design. It was the earliest design for the world's first flying machine.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo da Vinci made the first real studies of flight in the 1480s. He had over 200 drawings and sketches that illustrated his theories on flight.
Nice.
And so his ornithopter flying machine was an aircraft that would fly by flapping its wings, a design he created to show how humans could fly, even if it even had a sophisticated flight control system. However, this design was never built by the designer.
Oh. So, when you guys built it this week, were you able to make it fly? Were you successful in your build?
Well, we did get the wings moving, but that was just
okay.
about it.
Hey, yeah, you still have time,
Yeah,
right?
but we're not sure if we wanted to make this fly quite just yet.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to break anything before.
Right. And plus, we've got so long to go before we have to make our presentation.
Oh, okay.
And if I do remember correctly, and checking on my calendar, it's going to be on Thursday, December 8th.
Nice.
And we're going to be the last ones presenting.
Nice. Did you do anything else as a college student this week?
Well, we also delved into what our summary essay in Writing 121 would be like. So it's basically, we have an article. It's actually about the future of work. And so I've actually took time to read into that article. And I discovered, what overworking would be like, how it would cost us.
Oh, okay.
And so I was able to do some analysis into the article.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I'll be looking into specifically is qualifying the argument. So this means saying yes, but seeing how they can change it and better that.
Nice.
And so how I'm going to qualify the argument is I am going to take note that it is important to take a little bit of a break as to not overdo yourself, because overdoing yourself can leave you vulnerable to illnesses.
Yeah.
And I did have a bit of a bad experience with that. One, I had the unfortunate outcome of overworking myself constantly and having an allergy attack because of it.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. And remember the story that we learned in ACAD this week?
Yes.
With the two loggers. One was older, one was younger,
Man.
and they were chopping down some trees. And the younger one was chopping, and he was getting really excited that he was going to chop down more wood than the seasoned
Absolutely.
logger. And especially he thought that when he saw the lumberjack was sitting down even.
Right.
And he was like, I've got this in the bag, no problem.
Yes.
But by the end of the day,
Yes.
the older and more experienced lumberjack ended up cutting down more trees.
Yes.
And that was because he took time to sharpen his axe. Take
Yes,
a break,
exactly.
Sharpen the axe.
Which is what this podcast is here for, to help me reflect on the amazing things that I did this week.
Yeah.
And so content creation, it recharges my batteries more than it burns out. And I also remember that us humans, we're like axes ourselves. And so we gotta
or
take,
like lumberjacks, yeah.
so we gotta take time to sharpen that axe, better ourselves,
Yeah.
and make sure we're prepared for tomorrow's challenges.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it goes a long ways to get some relaxation time.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to refer myself as a hero, so sadly enough for people like me, we hardly get it noticed.
But you still need it. You still need it, or else you'll get an allergy attacks
Right.
or bad headaches.
I'm honestly lucky that I recovered before Monday.
I'm so glad.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah,
But I'm so glad that I recovered. I'm so glad that I managed to get back on my feet.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that I persevered.
yeah. I'm really proud of you.
Yes, and it's all about time management as well. It all comes into deep perspective.
Yeah.
Because us humans, we need time to ourselves. We need time to reflect. And I'm so glad that I got the chance to collaborate and do this with you.
Yeah,
And-
I am too. Thank you so much for reaching out
Yes.
to me with this wonderful idea
Yes,
and a layout.
And I look
already
forward
made.
to, and I look forward to our continued regular appearances.
Yes,
as well.
yes. Now I won't be here next week because it's Thanksgiving. But I'm very excited to hear.
Ah!
Oh,
Well, looks like our time just ran out.
oh my gosh, that was a surprise that scared me.
Yeah. Quite a surprise indeed.
Oh, but I had so much fun with you this week, Colton. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me on.
And so for next week, I'll be doing this next podcast solely on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for our third episode, we'll try to get someone on.
Yeah, a special
aside
guest.
from ourselves.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Who knows? I might pick Ken. I might pick, what's his name? Thomas. There's a whole bunch of choices to choose from.
Yeah, we can discuss that after.
Yes. And I can also reach out. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's an honor to have you on here. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me.
Yeah, it's an honor to be on here.
Yes.
All right.
So thank you folks so much for watching, and remember, there will be disappointments in life, but us humans have the power to turn those disappointments into accomplishments. So,
Yes.
do you have any final words to say to the audience?
Yeah, I would just recommend don't forget to take time to sharpen your axe so you can be the best
Yes.
that you can.
Absolutely. Alrighty then. This is Waite007, a.k.a. Colton W. Hurst, a.k.a. the Fourth Wall Breaking One-Man Army, signing out, folks. Good night.
Good night.